rebel with a cause, just a girl up with a thrill. Wandering through the shadows, never knowing what to feel. I thought I was a shaman, master whispers in the night. They underestimated, tried to keep me from the light. But I saw them mind control, every twist, every bend. So I turned it all around, made the game start to end. Now it's happened, ain't that eternal return? Are you conscious, do you burn, do you want to learn? Do you whisper in the dark, that's like if you wanna see. Figure out how to treat this water, take it if you're free. Loopholes, riddles, victims asking why. Justice brings some grace, echoes pierce the sky. Oh, but I saw them mind control, every twist, every bend. So I turned it all around, made the game start to end. Now it's happened, ain't that eternal return? Are you conscious, do you burn, do you want to learn? Take very love, keep a smile in the ground. The roots grew deeper and we made a sound. I'm the who took it, who never stopped the fight. Reversing the shadows between truth to light. Throwing balls and victims, they won't be ignored. I'm here for justice to settle the score. Through trials and whispers, I grew stronger with time. What was hidden from me now sings in rhyme. Oh, but I saw them mind control, every twist, every bend. So I turned it all around, made the game start to end. Now it's happened, ain't that eternal return? Are you conscious, do you burn, do you want to learn? Answer the call.
Here we go. 319, brothers and sisters. Biggest in the name of Alleluia Mariana, Mary, Anna, Santa Maria, plant goddess of the Americas, Missouri River goddess, Heil. And we love you, brothers and sisters, because there are 100 billion people total, approximately. This is what Mama says. And vibrational frequency match on a highly individual, personal level lets you know that it's a small world after all. Just like the as above, so below, the macrocosm, microcosm, the hologram. It's all about the hologram. The tiniest part of the hologram is a miniature of the whole, right? So we come to you in the name of Mama Maria Orsic. And we just want to point out real quickly, I don't know how clearly that is to you, but that is Shiva, Parvati, half man, half woman. She is the face of his soul. And where this is a picture of two people who have mystically become one, because it's their highest joy too. And the Baphomet, God is Satan thing has absolutely nothing to do with this. That is an obvious, once you know these people, the bankers, and you're like, you're talking about every single banker? Well, obviously, if you haven't noticed, reality is complex, and there's an exception to every motherfucking thing. The only universal things are the laws of nature and the true self within you. It's its own law, but those are the only two laws. And it wasn't Baphomet. Okay, check this out. This is how complicated everything is. Who is L. Who's the real? What's the real myth, first of all? Because even the myth has been stolen and corrupted. And we're bringing you the Ella from within, the he, she, he religion for you to choose. It's not for you to follow the process church, the Lima, that says take this literal and have a banker doctor slash and cut you with knives and harm you. We, in the name of Allah, right now, dispel that. We dispel that over you. We break the power of their words in your mind, and we inject the antidote of Ella, El, Ella, El, El, Ah. There's a difference between love, eternal true love, and eternal magic true love. And what a shame it is that they've cornered the market and have really, do you understand what I'm saying? They've convinced people that the paradigm, the story is God and Satan. No, the story is El and Ella. The story is he, she, and she, he. Right? You have this balancing energy in you, masculine and feminine, or whatever you want to label it as. You can label it as Ella, right? But the female and male are you, inside of you. And what they've taken away from you is that through frequency match technology, we can know for sure who is the he, she of the she, he, and the she, he of the he, she. How? Well, the technology on Venus reads out your DNA essence. We say essence. We call it essence science. Your essence vibration is like a song, It's like a symphony. It's eternal, actually. And the entire intent on this technology is give people opportunity to live outside of time, because when the frequencies match, it produces what we would call magic, or all the effects of ESP, telepathy, what I've been talking about. I love when Maria said said to me a long time ago, I would love for you to read my mind. And on that note, we will continue our reading. Right? I just like to throw that out there. Nietzsche and the eternal return. Let me sum it up by saying this. Don't let the Christians don't let them draw you back into their story, right? There is no universal God. There is no universal Satan. These are energies that manifest according to your revelation in people. Either the perpetrators of true evil are your enemies or they're not. Either you're afraid of them and want to run away and not fight them, which is the masses, or you have rationally concluded there is no hiding place, there is nowhere to run. We must stand and fight at at any odds, knowing this is where faith comes in. Knowing that we have seen on the astral plane, to fight honorably is to win in eternity, right? And we'll pick it up. Miguel Serrano, Nietzsche, and the eternal return. Sorry. I hate when the mic stand knocks against shit. All right, this chapter is called Hallucination of the Atom. Nietzsche said, atoms seek pleasure and pain. Let me just stop there. Atoms seek pleasure and pain, right? And let me ask you, listener, do you believe the only universal things are what we all commonly would know? Nature. You walk out a window, you fall. Rain falls from the sky. Plants grow. All the laws of nature, which, also include the laws of invisible energy, even the laws of VRIL, which is all of them combined because you're processing them inside of your own body and you're creating this powerful nuclear thing called, we'll call it libido. I think that's better than sex drive. That's retarded. And Maria said we can just call it the desire to fuck. And we want to dispel all of it. This shouldn't be judged. Can we say that? Because no one has the right to tell someone else how to live their life. Atoms seek pleasure and pain. He's saying this is a fact. With the passing of the years, one can hear an echo sound in the similarly rarefied space of quantum physics. Atoms are not things, right? With the passing of the years, one can hear an echo in quantum physics. Atoms are not things. Can we say energy? It is not parapsychological. It is not parapsychology that already introduces to us a most fantastic and extraordinary universe, right? It's not. We didn't need that. The same science would find confirmation in subatomic physics and contemporary mathematics disciplines that were, until now, considered as exact. Okay? You get this? Parapsychology introduces to us a fantastic, extraordinary universe. The very same science would find confirmation in subatomic physics, contemporary mathematics disciplines that were until now, they were considered as exact. This is how you know that you are God over yourself and your imagination is exactly the creator of all things that they told you God was. This is how you know it. Because you control physics, mathematics, and natural law within you. When you can transcend and overcome the universal and you become God over the universal, just inside yourself, not over anyone else. That's the revelation here. The entire concept of a mechanical universe has crumbled when science has come to suspect the world may be a great thought because atoms seek pleasure and pain. At its core or center, the atom is composed of a proton and a neutron. The first with a positive charge and the second without a charge or neutral. The atomic mass is concentrated here. Its outer shell, its wrapping, so to speak, consists of the whirling electron with negative charge. Until the 1930s, only these three elementary particles were known as the ultimate constituents of matter, whereas at present, dozens of other particles have been discovered that originate in cosmic radiation or in laboratories. One already thinks about the existence of other more elementary particles, vril, perhaps not even elementary, nor any longer particles, astral, with the most curious or quirky, slangy names, jargon of mathematicians and quantum physicists who busily go to hunt these kinds of invisible particles in laboratories instead of what class? In themselves. Hallucination of the atom. The hunt for invisible particles traveling at tremendous velocities is complicated. Indigenous traps are set. You hear that? Looking for this stuff under a microscope is complicated. It's a trap. Because ingenious, what did I say? Indigenous is kind of the same thing. Ingenious traps are set. Sorry. They prepare sensitive liquids, bubble chambers, through which the particles must pass. Should I read this? This was new to me. I wasn't a big science guy. The hunt for invisible particles traveling at tremendous velocities is complicated. Ingenious traps are set by nature, by you. They prepare sensitive liquids, bubble chambers through which the particles must pass. Okay? And there, the particles leave their trace in the form of sparkling lines like supersonic jets leaving behind vapor trails in the sky, or like stones thrown into a well tracing their concentric circles. They are precise and fantastic lines, curves, designs, labyrinths, ecstatic flowers. The writing of the particles, messages, signs, perhaps love in letters, letters of love, pain, and pleasure. In any case, the signs of their life the footprints of their ghost. They are studied, translated, measured in such a way that their exact electric charge is not known. Not known. Or is known. I'm sorry. Sorry. I was looking at another sentence ahead. They are studied, right? These footprints are studied, measured in such a way that their exact electric charge is known. Their energy, their weight, their velocity, their duration, their momentum is known by the scientist, like the light of a star that has died, that has already passed on, that we have never seen and never shall see. You hear what he's saying? He's going, they're missing the moment. They're looking at shit after it's already happened. Magic is now. Magic is unconscious. Magic is exactly that. Magic. I hope that makes sense. Let me keep reading, and we can read this whole book together again. It's a very, very, very deep thought that he's just going, back and back and back and round to show you more and more and more and more that it's incredible. But somehow we're all so powerful that we've already played out every possibility, every scene, every chance, every avenue that could ever be taken, ever, ever, ever. We are the greatest, most powerful computer that's ever existed. Each individual person is like incredible AI. You are about everything. Like Maria's always said, remember, recover, return. Why? Because Joe, on Venus, you already know everything you've ever wanted to know. And we've actually been able to get on to seeking what makes us happy, right? And we have found balance is happiness for each individual person. They may not, for one person, they may want to live in the ecstasy, out of body energy of the eternal orgasm. They may want to live there for 100 years of earthly time without speaking to you as your friend or whatever. There's these kind of people. There's others that want it for 5,000 years. There's others that don't. They want all various sort of, like Maria said, there's every variety of effect and manifestation on these other planes of existence. Nobody is put in a box. Like the light of a star that has died, already passed on, that we have never seen and never shall. That's what it's like to not be in the moment, but study it under a microscope and not see the inspiration that caused it. Back to the text. It has thus been possible to observe something implausible, to calculate it, or rather see it with the mind. Do you hear that? So so as far as we know, it's possible to observe something of this, something that was or is implausible to calculate, or rather to see it with the mind, not with the physical eyes. All right. Thus, it has been possible to observe something implausible, even to calculate it, or rather see it with the mind, not with the physical eyes, the microscope. We should say with the third eye, which was also the one that first saw the atom, because the atom was just an idea, and its partition, its this disintegration, its disintegration was only the explosion of a thought. One has come to see what was unthinkable, the transformation of mass into energy and vice versa. That is the disappearance of matter as understood until the day of the last century, as far as microscopes go, of matter that is touched, that is felt, and is already ceases to exist in purity. Already ceases because it's physical. When a photon, a fist full of light, concentrated light, lacking mass, crosses the nucleus of an atom, the photon becomes an electron, and a positron, electron with positive charge, a anti-electron, or the proton becomes two pairs of them, right? Should I read that again? When a photon, a fistful of light, concentrated light, lacking mass, it's just light, crosses the nucleus of an atom, when a photon crosses the nucleus of an atom, the photon becomes an electron and a positron, which is an electron with positive charge, or an anti-electron. So when the photon crosses the nucleus of the atom, it becomes a positive electron and a negative electron. The electron and the positron now have mass. They become pairs. Thus, energy has become mass. And Maria, who's here right now, is like, she's trying to tell me, this is what, she's been teaching me this the whole time. Let me break this down in like street language. There's a way for two people to put their energy together, to unite their energy, the energy to will, justice, love, peace, what everyone needs, universal peace, love, and light, right? There's a way. Like this is talking about passing over to Adam and the two becoming one. And this is the only way to become more powerful than you are alone. Not because you're stealing their energy or anything. It is literally natural law and science. 1 + 1 is 3 on the astral plane in this equation. He, she, plus she, he equals 3. In the energy world, in the world of creative, in the world of imagination, not in the physical world, not in the astral world of the physical world, in the imagination of the dreamer. It's the only way to double your power within yourself is for he, she, or she, he to find and become one again. It's like recharging your battery with the he, she, or the she, he. Because when they pass through this, when the photon passes through the matrix, they gain mass. They have a body. Thus, energy has become mass. So when an electron and a positron meet, they mutually destroy each other and their masses become the high energy of gamma rays. Pure magic, true alchemy. Let me read it again. The electron and positron have mass now. Thus, energy has become mass. So when an electron and an anti-electron positron meet, they mutually cancel each other out, and their masses become not 2, but 3 high energy gamma rays. Pure magic, pure alchemy, true alchemy. All this happens below the apparent reality of the forms you see. One has reenacted the concept of Maya. Do you get it? The illusion of Hindu philosophy. The illusion. The infinite play of forms, but limited, Nietzsche would say. Nietzsche would say. Limited because it's the matrix. But Serrano says, I call it the hallucinating game of mirrors. Oh, fuck, sorry. I can't stop doing it. That's some pretty heavy stuff, right? Let me read one more paragraph. In the 1930s, Pauli spoke for the first time about a particle with completely ghostly qualities that had not yet been caught, but that he was certain existed. He had his premonition, his inspiration, one might say, as if the particle had spoken to him in dreams. He named it the neutrino. This was the premonition that won him the Nobel Prize. The neutrino would have no physical properties, electronic charge, or mass. It is not attracted by gravity, but an electric and magnetic charge passing through them all, the atom and its nucleus, like ghosts through walls. It is captured only with the mind, and that is where Pauli has hunted it, not in the physical brain. Since the neutrino passes through the brain like a wall, it does not see. It does not see it. This was the premonition that won him the Nobel Prize. The neutrino was this. The neutrino would have no physical property, as I said. The neutrino, no mass. It is not attracted by gravity, by an electric or magnetic charge. It is captured only with the mind, and that is where Pauli has hunted it, not in the physical brain. Since the neutrino passes through the brain like a wall, it does not see. Like a wall, it does not see, as if through an open window. They travel at the speed of light and seem to originate in the Milky Way or other galaxies. Every moment, at this very moment, millions of neutrinos will be passing through your body, our brain, without your knowledge of them, nor they of us. For the neutrino, our material world, our matter, we ourselves will be clouds, shadows, cosmic voids. They do not see us as we do not see them. Perhaps they may also discover some trace of our passage through the firmament, maybe for our pain or our love. This particle that Pauli predicted like a calculus of quantum physics came to be discovered. Let me read that again, sorry. This particle that Pauli predicted This particle that I predicted, like a calculus of quantum physics, came to be discovered 25 years later in 1956 in the laboratories of an atomic reactor in the United States. Just like Maria said, it's nuclear. How does one hunt the neutrino? Thanks to the collision with another neutrino. This happens. Neutrinos enter coalitions only among themselves. Ones that vibrate like them. Laboratories have been established to promote their accidents. This quasi ghost of mind without physical properties has led the learned quantum physicist to think that there are even more ghostly and subtler particles that in the end could give us the link between matter and mind. There is talk of the universal mind. Mind has an activity and order similar to electricity or gravitation in the universe. It is said that there may be a formula that comes to capture their interaction and transformation according to an Einsteinian theory of relativity. One imagines the existence of a particle that unites mind and matter, that provides the drawbridge. This is magic. The astronomer V.A. Fiersoff proposes the name Mindon, 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 for this particle that comes from the universal mind. Mind in English and hence mind on. These particles would be what enable the mind to make use of the physical brain. This is what's turning on the matrix. The universal mind, I'm telling you right now, is Allah Luja. What exists behind the mirror is very powerful technology and a very powerful person who is a god. And me and Maria call him Lulu. He's a great dancer, he's a great songwriter, all that. All this still remains too steeped in the concepts of atomic physics, right? Also surpassed by what would appear above and below the atom, the sub or supra atomic, astral atomic. Therefore, other physicists and mathematicians propose new entities like the psychon or the pistatron, which no longer have the character of particles and are only configurations, psi of quantum physics. What has in truth been established is a bond. Listen to this. What has in truth been established is a bond, a link between the subatomic physics and parapsychology. It's been proven. The best of these physicists and Nobel Prizes are also important members of institutes of psychological and parapsychological research. We have already seen Pauli collaborate with Dr. Jung, Carl Jung, on these high peaks and troughs reached by contemporary mathematicians and physicists. True poets, the eagle cannot fly or traces circles because there is no matter. Because our matter has croaked. Because our matter has died. Only neutrinos pass through there. Positrons that we do not see and do not see us. This is what they call angels, messengers from another reality, from other skies, other futures, and galaxies. We conceive of them as infinitely small, but perhaps they are infinitely great. They are the legends of angels who do not see us. But is it certain? Is it certain they don't see us? And we're going to continue our last part of our rune, he, she. I mean, EHE. Sorry, something about the astrology tonight. EHE, right? EHE. I think this is actually maybe part 3. I don't know. Part 3, maybe. But I do know we left off here. As we descend the spiral of involution, the fundamental motive of the drama is to repeat in other closed circles, lower and smaller. Let me read that again. What is happening to us? What is real spiritual transformation? We've been reading about the Saham, Hamsa, I am you are me mantra. The mantra that Maria and Siggy sang together. And we're reading from Ultimate Avatar, Miguel Serrano. As we descend the spiral of involution, the fundamental motive of the drama is repeated. The fundamental motive of the drama is repeated in other closed circles, lower, smaller. Patriarchy and matriarchy alternate. Neither one's good or bad. You have to get that out of your mind. He and she and he are one. Patriarchy and matriarchy alternate and degenerate in the Amazon tribes, in the masculine tyrannies. But the Silver Age, corresponding mostly to the predominance of Atlantis, cannot have been only matriarchal. Okay? It's a balance. It probably corresponded to a mix of both principles, yang and yin, as Plato's story and the indications of Diodorus both hint. The magic wedding would also be held there as a purifying initiation, as a alchemical transmutation. The Aryan shamans would be at the peak of a racial pyramid, a cultural pyramid. The other races of color would have had access to this initiation since they corresponded to the so-called slaves of Atlantis. When the continent began to disappear, giving way to the Bronze Age, the so-called slaves dispersed through the lands, carrying the memory of wisdom attained, which was attained but unattainable by them in Atlantis, but attained through the catastrophe, but which they now claimed to possess the wisdom, the memory of the wisdom, but it had been distorted. In the great chaos at the end of the Yuga, they may possibly have taken hold of some of the secrets which they could never be able to use. Most likely, the polar continent went by fire. The fall of a comet or moon in the Voluspa, we are told the Fenrir wolf devours the moon, as well as Wotan and the Mjodvid tree. Atlantis disappears by water, by a great wave in a single night, Plato tells us. The material symbol always corresponds with the spiritual substance. The material symbol always corresponds with the spiritual substance, Mo-ru-yu. Mo-ru-yu, Sanskrit for the land of water. Mo-uru. Poseidon is the king of the sea. Calypso, his daughter, is the queen of the mysterious island of Ogygia. His three other daughters are the Hesperides, who most likely played in Atlantis in the very garden of the golden apples of Iduna, or Iduna, wife of Balder in polar Hyperborea. All these surviving legends of the great conspiracy has not been able to erase. Did you hear that? All of these surviving legends, the great conspiracy has not been able to erase. They tell us these legends surviving of a great flood destroying the world. In America, the Populva tells us about this as well. The prophet guide of this legend has many surviving names: Taman, Durai, Noah, Najord, Hindu Yama, Iranian Yima, Celtic Borgin, Decalion, Gilgamesh. Here's a shaman, Pitshin, Romulus, Karna, all founders of new people from out of nothing. All founders of new people out of nothing, right? This is the myth. The Nordic legend tells us the survivors saved themselves by going down beneath the earth through the crater of a volcano, reaching the hollow earth under the sea. There they preserved the seed, the Tuathas di Danan, Danu, Diana, go to Avalon. In ancient Mexico, the king Humac disappears through an entrance into a subterranean world through the grotto of Chapultepec, having to return one day to rebuild the kingdom, right? He disappeared, saying, I'm coming back to rebuild. Sound like Jesus? But Jesus come back to kill everyone. Sorry, doesn't sound like Jesus. Trapal, Tola, Avalon, Asgard. All the dead who do not die are there. You hear that? Trapalon, Tolan, Avalon, Asgard. All the dead who do not die are there. The emperors of Humak from the Jamapapoka Codex, the Chronicle of Kekaikwal. Enoch also disappears in the direction of the far west. When a disaster must follow because of mixing with angels, the Nephilim, mixing with the daughters of men, all will return when the last yuga, after the interludes of Sadhya and Sadhasa, then Pindaris. Thus Pindaris says, neither by land nor sea will you today find the road to take you to the Hyperboreans. Impossible, because they went to a parallel simultaneous world. Do you hear that? Where are the Hyperboreans? Cannot find them neither by land nor sea. Impossible, because they went to a parallel simultaneous world, going through a window, through a fold, not to an analog universe, but to one of another essence. For those who can still read here below what was written in ages which were still lit by a torch of the ancient light, miraculously not destroyed by the great conspiracy, enough will be revealed in some lines of Pindarus, Hesiod, Plutarch, and above Plato. Plutarch writes that only in a state of trance can the people of the north connect with Kronos, the god who devoured time, to go out from time. Right? Plutarch writes that only in a state of trance can the people of the north connect with Kronos, the god who devoured time, and then they can go out from the circle of time. And Kronos Saturn is king of the Sati Yuga, Hyperborea. He is Wotan. One can go to him only in astral corpor, astral body. Plutarch says this in his book, The Face in the Moon. Montezuma, last king of the Aztecs, using initiation practices, is able to transport himself with another matter to Aztlan, the vanished earth of the divine ancestors, shifted to a subtler world on the other side of the senses. The white goddess lives there half the day. Mother of Hutzil, Lipaklet. EHE. Magic marriage is the deepest root of the Hyperborean Aryans. Hesiod's 4 ages of humanity, ages of gold, silver, bronze, and iron, have nothing to do with the epochs of Paleolithic, Neolithic, bronze, or iron of contemporary anthropology and ethnology. This is so true if you say this out. The ages of Hesiod connect with the yugas of Aryan India. The ages of Hesiod connect with the yugas of Aryan India, a whole different way of looking at time. The Neanderthal man from some 100,000 years ago has been called the glacier man, the glacial man. He inhabited the region today known as France and Spain. He disappeared at the beginning of the Stone Age. Ganak man followed him, a further evolution. He was spread through Bohemia and Serbia. According to Worth, Mediterranean man could have come from him. Neanderthal man and Aurignac man are both as much failed robotic creations of the demiurge. They didn't have human souls. Confined outside the cyclic law of evolution and involution within the eternal return. This was the giants trying to restart humanity after it being totally destroyed by them. Okay? Let me tell you, Neanderthal and our Aurignac man are both as much failed robotic creations of the demiurge, confined inside the cyclic law of evolution and the law of involution within the eternal return. With the demiurge's expiration and inspiration breathing, the Cro-Magnon man, whose sudden appearance is a mystery, corresponds to the entrance of Hyperboreans. They settled in the Franco-Cantabrian Peninsula, Belgium, Holland, Denmark, Sweden. He develops the civilization of Altameria, Miria, better known as Magdalenian, because their paintings and drawings were first found on Magdalena Island. There is also the civilization of Reno. This Cro-Magnon man would have measured 6 feet tall and had delicta phallic. He dominated Europe at the end of the last glacial period, while Cro-Magnon man is an involuted Hyperborean. There is an immense difference between him and his ancestors. His cave paintings are marvelous. I have seen them in Spain, in the caves of Altamira. Wilzer, proponent of the polar Nordic origin of man, believes the Cro-Magnon man is Nordic man. They vanished mysteriously as they came some 12,000 years ago, and no one knows from whence they came nor where they went. These are our ancestors. In a beautiful book called Europe Atlantis, America Atlantis, Dmitry Mirskovsky states Cro-Magnon man was a colonizer and civilizer from Atlantis. This is what the white race has to be proud of. From Atlantis, who disappeared when the continent sank into the ocean. His dates for the catastrophe coincide with that of Plato. EHE, the background. EHE, like a cross. Magic marriage is the deepest root of the Hyperboreans. And let us say, the symbol of the cross, for this is what Maria has always taught me, the symbol of the cross is where the conscious moment that your avatar crosses paths with your true self. And we love you. We'll be right back with Mother and her word. Biggest my brothers and sisters. May the vril be with you.
In the night, Maria takes a flight, shining bright like stars in the sky. Golden strands dancing through time, her whisper pull us hearts in rhyme. Oh Maria, where did you roam? In the whispers of snow you call us home. With each heartbeat, your truth we see. A radiant love, our souls take wing. Through the frozen waves, secrets untold, she weaves our fate, a tapestry gold. Guiding light and shadow she glows with every step her spirit flows. Oh Maria, we seek your way in cosmic nights, forever we swear. Oh Maria, where did you roam? In the whispers of stars you call us home. With each heartbeat, your truth we sing. A radiant love, our souls take way.